Now, it is my pleasure to welcome to the studio Scott Schubert, the CEO of the Metropolitan Development Council. Thank you for being here today, Scott, for your first time on the Comfy Couch, and welcome.
Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Now, MDC is celebrating something special, 60 years of service to Tacoma Pierce County. Can you tell us more about some of the work the MDC does for our community?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So MDC, like you said, has been around for about 60 years, which is incredible to really highlight some of the work that we're doing. So we have 4 different pillars that we focus on at MDC. The first one is our education department. So we're in most of the local high schools, community colleges. So we help with different FAFSA applications. So, it's a great way to connect with our community. It's a great way to invest in the city of Tacoma in particular. So we're at Stadium, FOSS, all kinds of different schools. And the way that I view it is that we're kind of an extension of guidance counselors. So we help, we have a cohort of about 25 individuals in each school, and we help to show them a pathway forward of what it looks like to do post-secondary education. So that's one area that we're focused on. The second one is our weatherization and energy assistance. So that's kind of our second pillar. So we serve just the Tacoma region. So if anyone's heat burden, we can help with that. They may not have funds to be able to pay for their rent. So a lot of times we are able to help with that as well. So we served last year close to 5,600 individuals through that program. And so it was like 2,300 households. And so we're really proud of that and being able to make sure that people have the resources that they need. And then the third one is we have the only detox facility that's not a hospital in the area. So we have 16 beds. We're expanding to 32 beds because of the huge need. So last year we served close to 1,000 individuals through our detox program. We also have people can stop by and get mental health services, get substance use disorder services. So we're located in the Tacoma region. They can just stop by. And then our fourth pillar is focused on housing. So our housing department, we have about 250 units throughout Pierce County area, a lot of them located in the Tacoma region. We also have a project that we're working on in Spanaway. So we're gonna actually double to, there's 256 units that we're gonna have in the Spanaway region for affordable housing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing that you do there. You do a little bit of everything to help our community thrive and survive. That's incredible. Now, MDC completed a community needs assessment with Pierce County Human Services. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what you are learning about what we need in our community?
Yeah, so we just completed asking people what they feel like their community is needing. So we had close to 2,500 responses. Previously, we maybe had 300, 400. So this was actually incredible response from the Tacoma region. And so we actually surveyed the whole Pierce County area, and what we're doing from that is we're putting together a series of recommendations. This is what the community is saying that they need. This is how we can be responsive to the community. So we're gonna be holding an event probably in March or April to be able to share some of the results with the community. We're gonna have diaper distribution with Pierce County Human Services. So it's gonna be really a way to show our love to the community and to say, we hear you, we also want to be responsive to the needs. So being a community action agency for the Tacoma region, we can actually pivot our services. And so if the community is saying we actually need more mental health services, then we can invest in that. If the community is saying we need more transportation, we can invest in those or make sure that we're linking with the right resources in our community. So we're excited to be able to share that and really, highlight what the community is saying that they need and make sure that our legislators, making sure our community is aware this is what is needed in this region. So excited to be able to share that.
I love the listening part. The fact that you're willing to and able to sit there and listen to what we need and being the advocates for us to make sure that they are happening in our community. Now, you are relatively new to the MDC, so tell us a little bit about how you came to the MDC and why you chose to come to this organization.
Yeah. So I've been in human services for about 15 years, maybe a little bit longer. I started off as a case manager, really working with homeless young adults in the Seattle area. Was able to kind of expand some of my work, doing some more systems work, but really with the passion of serving our communities wholeheartedly. And so when this opportunity came at MDC, it was an incredible opportunity, and I couldn't say no because of seeing how many people are impacted by the work that we do at MDC. About 20,000 individuals we are connected with throughout the region, throughout the Pierce County area, and knowing that impact and knowing what we can do, being a part of the change in our community was so important to me. So prior to that, I was at the YMCA of Greater Seattle doing housing and homeless services. So that's kind of my passion. That's where I come from. And the opportunity to be able to invest in different systems like our behavioral health system, our education system, our energy assistance, systems were so important to me to make sure that we are making a difference in our community and also being responsive to our community.
Wow. Welcome to the position.
Thank you.
I love your enthusiasm. I love just sitting here talking to you. If you could sum it up, what would you say is your vision for MDC in the community?
That's a really good question, Chris. I would say that what I see MDC doing is really working with individuals experiencing poverty, experiencing, a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. And we are all subject to that in a lot of ways, we're one hardship away. And so what I want MDC to be is a community of hope. So it's even in our website, mdc-hope.org. So I see that as a hope for our community, being a place that is able to offer the services that are needed, that our community is needing, but then also being a partner in listening. And so, I think I mentioned that earlier. We really want to make sure that we're opening up our doors to our community. And so that's where I really see the vision of MDC heading. I envision us working on anti-poverty work and really focused on being, accountable and responsible to the community.
Wow, that is an amazing vision. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait to see, I have no doubt that with you at the helm, it's going to come to fruition as well. Now, you talked a little bit earlier about you have a detox facility. You're the only non-hospital detox facility in the region. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and the fact that you are there providing that service for everybody?
Yeah. So right now we currently have 16 beds, and a lot of them are doubled up beds. So that means, that they are detoxing, potentially with somebody else in the same room. And so we actually expanded, and we have another facility within the same building. And what we can do is actually offer single detox beds for individuals. And that typically doesn't happen during a detox experience. So really what happens with us and our facility is people are coming to us at kind of their rock bottom place of desperation. And so what we talk about is providing a space, we call it detox with dignity. We want to create a space. We want them to eat, we want them to rest, and we want them to get clean. The great thing is we also have outpatient services associated with it. So from detox, we can connect them to rehab facilities, but we can also connect them to our intensive outpatient services. So we're able to make sure that people receive kind of a holistic approach to ending their usage. So we talk about sobriety and the importance of that. We talk about, it's similar to like a 12-step program. And so, typical stays are 3 to 7 days in our detox facility. And then we want to make sure that they have the resources to maintain that sobriety. And we are going to be where we're located right now. Comprehensive Life Resources is also moving next door. So we are talking about what it means to be in community together. And so how do we help patients from one organization to the next and really make sure that they're getting the services that they need. So Comprehensive's going to have a pharmacy next door. So by the time someone ends their stay at Detox, we'll be able to make sure that they have the medication that they need to be able to maintain their sobriety.
Wow. That's a tremendously valuable program to have in our community. Now, speaking of the community, how can the community help support the MDC? What can we do to make sure that you thrive and survive?
Yeah, so I think, a couple things is make sure that you're aware of what's kind of going on in our community. So we try to be really active on our socials, around poverty issues. And so making sure that they're aware of what's going on. Connecting, so if you know somebody who needs help or needs resources, it doesn't just have to be someone experiencing homelessness. It could be somebody who's in need of our energy assistance or weatherization services. Could be somebody in need of mental health services. Send them our way. So we're located at 721 Fawcett Avenue, and we have a welcome center. So they come in, they share what resources they're needing. They only have to do it once, and so then we connect them to the most needed resources for them and make sure that they have the support in order to, whatever that need is, in order to be self-sufficient.
What is the best way for us to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so a couple ways. So through our website, my email address, you can just, contact me directly. As a CEO, I try to be really connected to our community. You won't see me just sitting at my desk. I'm actually down at Detox, often. I'm at the schools. I think my email address will be here too, but it's ceo@mdc-hope.org. Our phone number, just call and we will connect you right away to services.
I can't thank you enough for being here today. I've had a delight sitting with you on the couch, and I just want to go back to that four-letter word that you stressed is hope. And I love the fact that you're providing hope in our community. We have a lot more coming up for you. We have the Tacoma Audubon Society along with the Ground to Sound Film Festival. But right now, sitting over at the Cityline Cafe table, we have the Tacoma Public Library, and they're going to share a little bit more with us shortly. We'll see you right back.